Okay. I'm about to go on and do this video and get it out the way. We have the leader of the Pan-African back to Egypt leader who then changed his name to Naga Suten instead of General Sara Suten Seti of the Egyptian empire of the Egyptian pharaohs. So he's got the video about the attack on the African slave trade by the so-called Aborigine. See, Aborigines in America, or indigenous folk, is saying they not a part of the slave story. They had to walk the trail of tears up out their land. And if they didn't walk the trail of tears, they simply had to become citizens. And according to the U.S. Constitution that was redrafted after the Civil War, according to the 14th Amendment, so-called black people or African people are 14th Amendment chattel property. Negro, blacks, and color. That means they are not full citizens. They are second-class citizens. So they don't have a nationality. So according to this amendment in the U.S. Constitution, that is not a part of the Republic, a different type of constitution that people accept, the slave catching system is trying to take Indians or Moorish people, Spanish-speaking people, and call them Hispanic. They are trying to call Caribbean island people Afro-Caribbean. They are trying to call North American people Negroes, and now African American. And we have the debate on whether slavery really happened and how did it happen. My aspect of slavery from Alabama to Illinois and Mississippi, this would be my aspect. A lot of people was kidnapped out of Illinois. Approximately 58,000 people living in Illinois, as you know the story of Jean-Baptiste du Sable and the Franco-Indian Alliance. So we gonna get this Sara Suten Seti. Just give me a second. Now, matter of fact, we ain't even got to get into that. Matter of fact, yes we do. Yes we do. Let's see if it'll pop up. The Franco-Indian Alliance. Nah, it ain't on here. It should have been. But we ain't got to go through that. You know what it is. You know the French had an alliance with the Indians in the 1500s. So it was a different form of slavery and understanding of what happened in the slavery. If you had the Franco Indian Alliance. And we can get to that right quick. I'm going to go on and get to that before I get to Seti. I can always get back to him because this video going to be a minute. Because we finna debunk his claims. We finna debunk that right now because we too advanced for the old timers. See, we see a map of New France shows a territory that is very much dominated by various American Indian nations. By various Indian nations who probably was trading during the Industrial Revolution and they had supreme control over their land. So it ain't no telling who they had in their land. So Sara Suten Seti cannot tell you what was going on in this area of the Great Lakes with the fresh water and all of the copper and the steel and the iron. This is the Industrial Revolution and people want iron to build ships so they can build mighty navies. So we have the French here who is nothing but the Moors. It has been proven that Jean-Baptiste du Sable, Lafayette, Lafour, so-called Lafayette, Peoria, indigenous people, Winnebago indigenous people, and the vast lands of the Miami, the Iroquois, the Erie, the Huron, the Renard, the Mascoutin, and the Illinois overwhelmed tiny bastions of French power in the form of various forts and missions. The French, without the vast colonial resources of the English and Spanish, relied heavily on the lands with, rather than outright control of indigenous populations. So the so-called French was intermingled with the indigenous population. As you can see, Jean-Baptiste du Sable discovered Chicago. So I'm showing you something that is vital for you to know before I prove how we was up in America even during the so-called cold climate. I'm about to debunk Sara Suten Seti. One second. He didn't discover Chicago. That's just how I got to revert it right quick. The founder, I mean. Jean-Baptiste was not an explorer. This is 1750. The French already had an alliance with several nations surrounding the Great Lakes in 1534. They had already been there 200-300 years, possibly longer, because the Teos Pueblos, New Mexico, Colorado cliff dwellings reveal the Meroitic, so-called Mandan language in that region. And we also have Hebrew and Islam with the Cherokees and other groups. So we have Saint Domingue, now Haiti, so-called Frenchman, who settled in a city called Chicago. This is the French. It's nowhere around it. They'll try to show you some white French, but it's a goddamn lie. So if you smart enough to shatter the paradigm of trickery, then you will always have it in your mind that the Francos was nobody but the Franks. The Scotian, the New Scotian, Nova Scotia French. So we have the fact that it was a different situation going on. And the people in Virginia who was dealing with the British, the people that was so-called dealing with the Spanish, they had a different government. They had a different understanding of government. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have people called the Miami. You have Miami, Florida. You have Miami, Ohio. So you have the Iroquois. You have the Illinois. You have vast lands that you possibly cannot sit up here and say that you know anything about. Luckily for me, I lived in Minnesota. If you look at Lake Superior up here where Duluth, Minnesota is, I inhabited these lands. And that is deep because if you follow my videos, I claim to have been in a lot of lands in America. And I never claimed to be in Africa. But if you see Lake Superior and Lake Michigan, I've been by both of these lakes in my lifetime. I've been by Lake Erie in my lifetime. I've been by Lake Huron in my lifetime. I've been to Kalamazoo. You understand what I'm saying? I've been to Detroit. I've been to Cedar Rapids, Ohio. I've been to Detroit, Michigan, Lansing, Michigan, South Haven, Michigan, Elkhart, Indiana, South Bend, Indiana. So, you know, a lot of people will just post videos and give their opinion about these areas, and they don't really know nothing about these areas. So we got the New Age Aboriginals up and coming who have selective memory. That means they select what they want to memorize and tell you from that aspect, but they don't tell you the whole aspect of, you know, different cultures that surrounded these areas. So my memory, you know, is on point. You know, when pointing out Illinois, Wisconsin, the mounds out here, the Seven Hills in Chicago, Washington Park, Jackson Park, going down to Cahokia, St. Louis, pointing out all this information will be a breeze. And linking it to the timekeepers and the zodiacal masters, map makers, navigators, river people, the people who navigated the systems. The navigators are the people who are called the Moorish, the mariners. Jean-Baptiste du Sable is a mariner. That means they didn't mind getting out here in the water and traverse the waters. They was never scared to do these things. And they set up posts and forts all throughout this region. So this is the Franco-Indian Alliance. And you're going to be like, okay, why is he teaching me that? What does this have to do with Sara Suten Seti proving that the Aborigines could live in the cold climate, you know, with the eumelain? You know what I'm saying? So what we're going to do is go to Sara Suten Seti and let him explain why you could not live in America with your dark skin, with your brown eumelain, with your copper colored complexion. He believes that you couldn't do it. But what I'm going to do is prove that you was here, no matter how long, how cold it's been in America. It could have been cold for 20,000 years. I'm going to prove that you was here. It could have been cold 40,000 years. I'm going to prove you was here. So let's listen up to Uncle Seti so we can debunk him on every claim that he make right now on this video. And we'll have it as proof. Because that's all we really need. That's all we really need is the proof.
Goddamn area. Okay? It's still cold in the same goddamn areas. You looking primarily damn near the whole north of the United States of America was up under ice. Okay? We talking about Michigan, Minnesota, all that shit up there. Even Ohio. You understand what I'm saying? New York, Massachusetts, New England. You understand? Even down damn near to Washington, D.C. was under the ice. Okay? So we talking about that this region up here is not an area. Yeah, when you talking about indigenous, you know what I'm saying? What you think gonna be, that's why you got woolly mammoths and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have cold climate animals in this area, okay? Only in the damn summertime where you probably see something, you know, leap up out the damn cave or something, like a bear or something. But you're going to have the kind of animals that could survive this kind of winter. You understand what I'm saying? So when you talking about a human type, you're going to be, it's just like being in Europe. It's just like being in Europe. And when we talk about the white man come up out the cave, this is basically the same environment, okay? Even on down into the southern states, which I will get into, because they having all type of snowstorms all over the fucking South right now. Yeah, it's getting a little hotter, but you seeing the reality that even in Tallahassee, Florida, they had goddamn some inches of snow down there. And it ain't like in Egypt where you have it once every damn 30, nigga. It be snowing down and cold down in Tallahassee, northern Florida, all the goddamn time. I was down there. I couldn't even goddamn believe it. I say, where my goddamn coat at? You understand? I done been down there more than once. Now maybe down in Miami where it's tropical, but northern Florida is not in the tropics. Only the southern tip of Florida is in the tropics. So right here again, you looking at, you understand how much of northern United States was under ice. And the rest of the shit, even though it wasn't under ice, goddamn it, you that close to the North Pole, nigga. You already know that shit get cold too. You got snowstorms in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, VA, nigga, Kentucky, Tennessee. You have snow all through that shit. So how in the fuck, when we talking about indigenous, when you talking about, that mean where the gene developed. And they didn't study genes. These goddamn scientists, they know where genes come from. You understand? Just like watermelon. Watermelons don't come from the United States. Come from Africa. Certain shit was brought here. You understand what I'm saying? And then, but it's still not like if it was grown at the crib, okay? You can bring a goddamn German shepherd over here. That don't make, and you can produce generations and generations and generations of goddamn German shepherds, but they still German shepherds. You understand? Only Africans come over here and become a goddamn Aboriginal or this, that, and the third. And I was even looking on this documentary about New Orleans where they down there at Mardi Gras dressing up as some goddamn Indians. You understand? They
see how he going in? So that's a shout out. That's definitely a disrespect, a shot to our Chief Warhorse and the American Indian Council and the other Mardi Gras practitioners in West Indies and South America. Whoever practiced Mardi Gras and claimed Indians, he just took a shot at you. But for your sake, I'm going to go ahead and prove him wrong right in this video. So I'm going to let him keep on going ahead.
They have dance off, what they call them tribes. So it's in the Native American expression. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you spend that much motherfucking time dressing up like a goddamn Indian and you know damn well you are African?
So no matter what you talking about, family, you were Indian. You could have been an Indian up under the Spanish Empire that was mighty here right down in that region. You also had the French Empire. So you know they had the boats too. They had the means to travel from Europe to America. That means they can ship people back and forth and be emissaries and set up shop in other countries. And you could have worked for them at that time. You probably wasn't illiterate. You probably spoke and wrote fluent French or Latin. Probably was more intelligent in those times. So he's just undermining you, telling you that you was not an Indian. No matter what the hell based on your looks and your skin color, this man is saying you are a African. And he's saying America was too cold for dark-skinned people to live thousands of years ago. So I'm going to let him go on till he get off topic. And I'm going to prove that these so-called brown, dark, eumelain people was here for tens of thousands of years with archaeological proof, anthropological proof. That means they left their pottery and they may have left remnants of their language. But they damn sure met up with governments of Britain and left accounts of their aboriginal legends. And their totems still standing in Northwest America right now today, connected to the Fiji Islands people. So let's let this brother go on and we can go ahead and debunk everything he's saying.
And they knew that. They said, when we do this in honor of the Indians that helped us during, well, man, fuck that. You ain't gonna get all that kind of praise. I'll give you a shout out, my nigga, but you ain't I'm not about to be dressing up like no goddamn Indian. You know, and that's the major expression of who the fuck I am. Y'all is ridiculous with that shit. They not even indigenous to they migrated over. Okay? They migrated.
So he's saying you imitating the Mongoloids who migrated over here. He have no clue about the Kennewick man. He has no clue about the Mesoamerican culture, being Asiatic. And the South American Quechan Incan connection to Lemuria. He has no clue about none of these advanced studies. He's stuck into the Darwinistic, Pan-African, just learning about Egypt Afrocentrism. So he's disrespecting these people for carrying on the ancient culture, still practicing beliefs right now today. And the Louisiana Lucerne territory is connected to the old warriors, who rode out here and ran America. So I'm gonna let him carry on.
Graded over. And you keep saying, oh, these are dark-skinned Indians. Even if they was dark-skinned, them motherfuckers come from India, in Asia. They came across that Bering Strait. When you look at hair on this planet, when you look at the...
My team and I always had trouble managing our tasks until one of my colleagues found Monday.com. You can see the
dominant gene, Africa got woolly hair. Okay, I don't understand how you niggas keep thinking that a straight-haired, dark-skinned Indian is us. Nigga, ain't no straight-haired tribe in Africa. No damn where. I went from north.
No straight-haired tribe in Africa. We definitely gonna research that too.
To south, east, to west, I have not yet found a straight-haired tribe nowhere in Africa. So how in the fuck do we continue to think that these peoples is up? And I done ran down on you, nigga. How wait a minute. I can come back. Let me, y'all need to, you can see my goddamn facial expression. You see what I'm saying? See? That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. So just as ridiculous as the white man saying he come from Africa, it's just as ridiculous as a man damn near dark as triple black midnight talking about he's indigenous to this continent when you know this goddamn continent is damn near like Russia in the northern region. That shit was like Russia and northern Europe under the goddamn ice. The same type of temp.
Okay. We're going to come back to the general. We'll be back, General. So, let's do some research. When did the Ice Age end? 2.6 million years ago. Oh, I know that can't be true. So, and it lasted until about 11,700 years ago. So, I'm quite sure we're not going to sit up here and argue that we had been here since 11,000 years ago. So, I'm sure we was the first people here. Don't we all agree? So, what we need to prove that we was here 2.6 million years ago, or even beyond. Right? That'll go to show you that we were hell of an indigenous people living up in this area. So, the question is, since there's so much ice out here and the woolly mammoths is out here, if the woolly mammoths can be out here, why we couldn't be out here? I mean, we're smarter than them. And we can use fire, right? So, we have 11,700 years ago, we had the last remnants of the Ice Age, where practically some of North America was under ice, according to theorists. And it was the last glacial period. So, we don't know the truth to that. We have no idea. We have to keep researching for ourselves. Am I not correct? Am I not correct, people? So, we have the Franco-Indian connection in 1500s of Indians thriving up here that look like you and I. No pale people. The Franks are the Moors. The Nova Scotian Canadian connection is the Moors. If you need any information on that, you can question me on that, and I'll get it to you. You don't have to worry about no Europeans being in Missouri before 1811. No white Europeans was coming here without Moorish escorts. It was not happening. Indians was always racist in these territories. They did not like the white skins. So, we have the last ice age of 11,000 years ago, and we have radiocarbon dated to about 8,300 to 9,200 calibrated years before present. And the Kennewick man is a man who is not associated with the Native American Mongoloid type. He is more closely related to the Klamath Plateau tribes of the Pacific Northwest. If you know the Pacific Northwest, that's like Washington, let's say, not Montana, let's say, Portland, Oregon, that region. It's a lot of Maori, Polynesian types out there trying to claim that area because of the Melanesians. The Fijians once owned that area. So once you give me the support I need, I can go destroy those fake Mongoloid, culture vulture thieves, federal informant thieves out there stealing the totems and the area, that they was fighting over, those reservation lands they was fighting over, those reservoirs that they was fighting over in Washington a few years ago with that federal standoff at the Bundy Ranch or whatever it's called. So, the morphological analysis was important to judicial decisions that Kennewick man was not Native American and that therefore NAGPRA did not apply. Instead of repatriation, additional studies of the remains were permitted. So we have the plateau tribes of the Pacific Northwest requested repatriation of the territory and the body of the Kennewick man, and they lost. So the term $5 Indian is deeper than what you know. The federal government is basically letting you know these people are not aboriginals. You understand what I'm saying? These so-called Native Americans that get on the internet and disrespect you. I'm Native American. Anthropological proof, scientific proof has proven the Kennewick man is the oldest man found in that region. And he is more closely related to the Ainu and the Polynesian than he is to modern Native Americans. And we all know the Ainu is the so-called Asiatic Negroid type. Ainu, Negro type. Come on, we doing what we do. We breaking it down. And what brought me to the research on the Ainu was the fact that my son's grandmother, Marilyn Porter, had was it Taiwan and Polynesian DNA. And she was the Negro type with the big lips. And I probably can find a picture of her. So I have been studying the Polynesian-Melanesian connection in America for about 5 years now. So we have science that's proven this, but we have Sara Suten Seti out here distracting you. So, you know, I understand that a lot of people is not going to get this information. I understand that a lot of people is not going to get this information and do the right thing with it. Because sometimes it's about who delivered the information. You know, you like the information and it's new, but you like, oh no, I wish it was my homeboy who told me. But the fact of the matter is that Sara Suten Seti is incorrect. And the fact of the matter is that your local Aborigine or indigenous historian is incorrect. You need to just face the facts and own up to this. And let's start to establish networking that is founded in real archaeology and real research that is unbiased. You understand what I'm saying? That is unbiased, that is not selective. So we have the Aboriginal relations with Europeans from 1600 to 1900 documented in Canada. And as we can see, the brown eumelain like you and I. And we have the Negro or so-called Sara Suten Seti telling us black all the time. They love to throw you off with this black because if you see the boots and you see the dog, you see they look black. You see the children and the Canadians with the coats on, with the fabricated pants, and it seems like some type of rubbery boots. So they was able to fish and they had coats, proving that they was able to sustain and thrive in the cold. As you can see the arrows and the spears with a hunting dog. So we have some deep pigmented people who can easily be mistaken for as Negroes in America. Regardless of how Sara Suten Seti would try to explain them having a certain hair texture, you and I know that we all have all the hair types in America. From the shiniest, black, curliest hair to the nappiest, kinkiest hair ever in America. And we don't disassociate ourselves just because someone has moist hair or dry hair. So you can let him separate y'all all y'all want, but this is Aboriginal relations with Europeans of heritage Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. You know, so we have their proof that our people had coats on, proving that they would be able to live in the cold no matter how many ice ages came. It could be a blizzard in Chicago. I've been living in a blizzard in Chicago for 20 something years. I never, as a matter of fact, when I moved to the South and moved back to Chicago, I couldn't stand the cold weather no more. So living in the cold weather made me superior immune wise. My immunity was superior living up there. So it has its advantages living in the cold. So does it affect your vitamin D and also have association with lighter skin? Maybe it does, because there's a lot of light-skinned people living in Michigan, Minnesota, and Chicago area. But we still claim the Negro-Moorish aspect. But I'm showing you right now people like this who look like the typical South American and the typical Central American and typical North American is now called Negro Black. And if they are mixed, they are allowed to be called Native American. Remember that you can only be called Native American if you're mixed and you accept the terms of the federal government. But this is Canada, and I'm already proving the Canadian relation to Tamil Fijian Sanskrit speaking people. I have proved the genetic connection to Fijians and India, the continent of India. I proved the Australian DNA connection to India and Fiji. And now we are proving the Canadian connection to the Fijians that the Maori Polynesians is trying to steal. But according to the story that I just showed y'all of the Kennewick, they saying that these Native Americans that's getting up here disrespecting the Negro Aboriginals are not the Kennewick man, and that the Ainu is. Do you understand that I just showed you who the Ainu is? So the Ainu and Melanesian type is nothing but the Negro American type. And that is held on the scale because the Negro Americans nigger industry pumps billions and billions of dollars. So therefore, if you knew that you was this type of human Asiatic, you would not be paying taxes and getting tricked out of your mind by no goddamn Sara Suten Seti, a idiot Freemason agent, who I am here to inform you about that is no match for me and the information that I retrieve. So the claim that the Kennewick man was anatomically distinct from modern Native Americans in general, and in particular from those tribes inhabiting Northwest North America, sparked a legal battle over the disposition of the skeletal remains. 5 tribes who inhabit that region requested the remains be returned to them for reburial. The reason why they wanted the tribes, guys, is because it's going to prove that they are fakes and they got to go to prison. This is how serious this is. We cannot just talk about this. They have to go to prison and be fined and penalized for desecrating our ancestral homelands. And on top of that, Sara Suten Seti is a diffusionist. If I claim something like that, he's just going to come out sounding like Unc of Amara Squad, like your drunk ass crackheaded uncle. Come on, family. We ain't no Africans, family. Y'all niggas tripping down there dancing in the Mardi Gras. He don't understand the serious nature of these claims that we out here, putting out here. So the man is really trying to downplay our intelligence, and we need to get him off the internet. It's serious. It's way more serious than you think. It's more serious than the Patreon, guys. I'm putting in that work. So we got the proof. We hitting them with the proof every damn time. It ain't nothing that we ain't hitting them with that ain't proof. So they ducking and dodging, bobbing and weaving. They could have been hanged it up because they can't rebut nothing. So on top of these claims that the Kennewick man is 9,000 years old and he is the Ainu type, he is the Melanesian type, the Asiatic type, the same type that we claim, the Washita, Doug DeMounja, Louisiana claim, the Muskegee, Mesoamerican, Mosquito Kingdom, Belizean people claim to be the indigenous remnants of Lemuria, Lamu, the Morea people of Tahiti, the same as the Tahitians. It is proven, and we might can brush up on all that before I leave up out of here. But like I say, science took the body from the fake natives and put it on display to be analyzed, and they came up with the same type as the Ainu Americans. So let's see who the Kennewick man is similar to, though. And this is kind of good news. So model-based clustering using admixture shows that the Kennewick man has ancestry proportions most similar to those of other North Native Americans, especially the Colville, Ojibwa, and Algonquin. So we have the Algonquin. If you know, that's like the Fana people who got on the internet talking stuff. Those people in the Connecticut area, Delaware area, the Ojibwa in the Wisconsin, they are the Chippewa and Wisconsin, Canada area. And we have the Colville. We have the Illinois people who are connected to the Kennewick man. So that would give you Chicago people a chance at Asiatic bloodline proven to be prehistoric Americans. That will give you Mississippian people a shot at that, because whoever claims from the Mississippi is kin to the Kennewick man. So they also have South and Central Americans and geographically close tribes, including the Colville. Fine. So Southern Native Americans, okay. So we're going to have to probably just do one whole video on this, because what we doing is proving genetically Sara Suten Seti wrong, and we are also going to prove archaeology-wise. The reason why I say archaeology-wise is we have to show some proof that they was here. They had to leave some some writing behind, some tools, some clothing. You feel what I'm saying? So Chippewayan, if you see up in Greenland, they up there in Greenland. You see what I'm saying? The heat maps outgroup statistic testing, where X is Kennewick man, Anzac, Colville, or Chippewayan. Warmer colors indicate higher allele sharing. So alleles are similar characteristics. So we're going to go with the red. So let's look at the red in the Kennewick man. Up here in the San Juan Islands, let's look at the bottom one to the right. The San Juan Islands on the coast up there. Then by Alaska is red. That's Kennewick man. Then when you get down with this light green, we got something else. So that's the Chippewayan. You don't find them everywhere. The Colville type is all throughout South America, and you find them up in Canada. The Kennewick type, if you see his type, it's all throughout South America and up there in that region. And the Anzac type. So to me, all of these is Asiatics, because if you look at the Chippewa of Canada, you can tell they are a Negro type. You can tell they are a Negro type, and they have been whited out. If you ever been to Minnesota and seen the so-called Chippewa or Ojibwa, you can tell they got some type of Negro ancestry. But you can also tell that, you know, the Ojibwa is some implants. Okay. Hold on, I'm finna get this picture. Chippewa. So, we see the Chippewa, and we see Canada once again, and we see the fact that the niggas gotta hide this. It's not an Afro, it's Chippewa. And black identities are being victims of identity, history, and culture theft by the albinos and their mulattoes, or those mestizos. These people are under attack, and these are the Canadians, the Chippewa. So you see now? So it is not the attack on African slave story, Sara Suten Seti. It is the attack on the indigenous American. This is the deputation of Indians from the Chippewa tribes. Those white-looking Indians are devils. These are mestizo devils. You love to call the white man the devil, but you don't want to call his offspring the devil. You might as well call those mestizo reservation natives the devil. It's no way around it. It's no way around it. They the devil. They the devil. They the devil. And you are the Melanesian type. You don't look like no Africans. You don't have to be ashamed because you don't look like no African. You don't have to be ashamed. So this is the Aboriginal type, living in America with the deep brown skin. Now let's go down some and look at them. So we have the other type that, you know, this type they would love to call Mongoloid, but I'm not calling these people Mongoloids. I think these might be Turkic men or Hittites. These might be the Hittites connected to the Indian Nagas some type of way. But these are Inumen in 1863, and we dealing with the Micmacs, and they were the fishermen, and they lived in these cold regions, and you can definitely see the Aboriginal type of this Micmac woman. So this is who controlled the fur trade with the French before the British came and took over everything. So you can see her cheekbones and her aboriginal looks. It's definitely a sister. But people like this have to be defined as mixed looking or different looking according to the African standards. And that's why we attacking the African paradigm, because we don't need that shit over here. If we got Indian blood or indigenous blood or aboriginal blood, it's just that. Just so happen to have woolly hair, nigga. You know what the hell that's supposed to mean? Because we got woolly hair. So okay. This is the woolly hair this brother speaking about. And even the picture of the Chippewa discerns the difference in complexions of the Korean Mongoloid type. So we had these people amongst us, and you can see the one with the hand up is specifically brown, very deep pigmented. And you see the red and blue Moorish. You even see the Moorish shoes on. You see those shoes the guy with the long musket gun have? Those shoes are Moorish. That specific style is Moorish by itself. These red and blue colors are Moorish. The red and white, the brother sitting down has Moorish. And what's crazy is he has the nose earring to show you how exotic they were, and we're still in tune with their Moorish culture. So none of this can be denied. This is Chippewa deputations of Indians. That's why I'm telling y'all, Indians is a specific people. Y'all got it all wrong. Y'all mixed up, especially Indian American Council and his followers and the Aborigines. Y'all got it all twisted when it comes to nationality in America and the Franco-Indian Alliance. Y'all got it extra mixed up. So we have another version of light-skinned straight hair people, and we have the deputation of Indians from the Mississippi tribes of British North America, Missouri history. So we see the woolly hair, and we see Sara Suten Seti. He's never going to answer to this, because one thing he can't tell these people who had complete dominion over their land for thousands of years, going back to the Kennewick man, one thing he can't tell these people is who they can have in their land, no matter what skin color they had. So he's a African maniac. He's a Pan-African fanatic who is so overzealous in his misguided ways, he cannot possibly, comprehend where we are coming from. So next, we have to prove the Mardi Gras. Let's go ahead and prove the Mardi Gras, because we got him on the climate. Matter of fact, let's look up the igloo people. So we have the igloo brown people. As you can see, we have them living in igloos. And you better believe the Tlingit people are the original igloo people, not those Mongoloids they gonna show you. Cause I'm on top of my on top of my research. You don't have to be on top of your research. This is Tlingit. Now, I know for a fact that they was dreadhead nappy heads. And they have a matrilineal kinship system. So, and it's off the coast of Alaska. And they trying their best to hide you Moors. And I am on top of it. You see the Seahawk and the lizard totem? You see this? This is Melanesian stuff. A Tlingit totem and Ketchikan. All this is stolen. This is beautiful area inhabited by Asiatic Kennewick Ainu type. This stuff can be found in the Pacific Islands. They the same people. Now you see how they look now. It's obvious that they stealing. There's no way around it. But what we have to do is go and find the original Tlingit. Let's find the Tlingit. Look at this beautiful fresh water. Stolen land. Head busted. Head busted. Head busted. Okay. Okay, let's get to the images, cause I know they gonna show the Negro Tlingit. I know they gonna show the Tlingit looking like a Negro on here. Look at the stealing. They stealing the Negro stuff. Kicking the darkies out. Okay, let's say Tlingit was blacks. Okay. Let's see if we can find it. Where is that Tlingit? He looked like the Melanesian type. I'm looking for that Tlingit with the dreads, because I know they stealing. I know they stealing. That's fake too. Ooh, they wrong. These is the invader forces, as you can see. As you can see. What we need to find is the Negro Tlingits. Not the ones who slaughtered. Let's just keep looking. Because you know what I'm saying. Because the simple fact that the Moriori was slaughtered by the Maori. So you know who hired them to run off the original Tlingit. Let's just keep looking till we find. Because I know it's some black looking Tlingit. And that's why I should have went into my archives before I even see this Tlingit right here is not gonna get showed. See, this Tlingit right here ain't gonna get showed. But if you can see, this Alaskan Tlingit got dreads that's woolly. And I'm just showing you how we can live in any region. Like those fake natives, they gonna put them up by the thousands to throw you off because they know this was an Aboriginal Negro type of land. You know. So let me get back to that Tlingit. That Tlingit, man. Because they stealing with the Asian Mongoloid. And I found it. And you see the bird in his hand. And the native attire, little short man with dreads. So ain't no telling how many of them they killed off just to hide this shit so they can steal. This is real information, man. This is sickening and maddening. Because we know the extent they will go to hide this information. You know, so I can go ahead and bust them in the head for those who deny. Because we got it right here. Let me go on and save it for the future. Because I'm not playing with this. This is Alaska. Now let's prove that his type was over here. To show Seti, you know. Because we got the people living in the igloos, right? And we got the Labrador Canadians. So if we see the Vendovi chief of Rewa in the from the Fijian Islands, you see Vendovi, and this is his type with the woolly hair. So we find the woolly hair in America, all across America. And this leader is up there in the so-called North. This so-called Sara Suten Seti is talking about. So we see it don't get no more north than that in Alaska. So, they just talking to y'all. They just running their mouth. You know what I'm saying? All they doing is running their mouth, and you sitting up there rolling with that bullshit. You entertaining it. So, that's sort of your fault. That's sort of your fault, and I'm going to shut them down. They even got the red and green color still out there, the Moorish colors. And this is the San Juan Islands, the 172 islands off the coast of Skagit County and Anacortes. And this is the woolly hair that we see again in America. And regardless of how much ice been in America, these people they been up there fishing. It ain't no time limit you can put on that. Ice ain't nothing new. Our people ain't never been scared. That's what I'm saying. Don't let this man scare y'all. I'm on top of that shit. You know what I'm saying? This is the Vendovi chief of Rewa, captured after beheading 8 U.S. officials, U.S. seamen. And when they called him, he showed them where Antarctica was. So if Antarctica got so much ice and it's cold, and he's obviously down here, he got his shirt off. He have his shirt off now, but I'm sure he has the coat like I showed you from the Labrador Aboriginals of Canada. So I'm sure he had a coat too, but they just want to make him look like a savage. He had clothes because he had 12 people picking his hair on a daily basis. That's how large his afro was, or his amerifro was. So these are stories you don't hear, and this is 1837. So in 1837, Washington, America was not compromised. It was still inhabited by these people. It was inhabited by these types. As you can see, the Kennewick type is kin to these people. There's no way around it. The Kennewick type. And at this point, if you follow Sara Suten Seti, so these cannons could be Moorish cannons, all we know. Or whatever this is. This is a machine apparatus for power, I believe. So, we don't know what we dealing with. The white shark is worshipped by the natives as one of their gods. So, cannibal chief. So, this is the chief of the natives. So, they showing you the proof. And they even have the skeletal proof. They know exactly. This is the skull of Vendovi. So they know how to size these skulls up, just like your leader, Sara Suten Seti, said. So we not dealing with no African slaves. We dealing with the Kennewick type that the so-called Negroes of America is related to, and they trying to Africanize you, and that's why I'm on top of it. And I'm going to go on to set up the Patreon. I'm going to do me a Patreon and a PayPal, because that's the only thing that's going to get folks' attention. You got to be playing on the same level as these suckers. If you just talking, they going to think you trolling. So I guess doing the Patreon is going to make people take me more serious. Because this shit got to go, So before I let them talk again, I'm going to go ahead and get to the Mardi Gras. Let's get to South American Mardi Gras. So we see the Mardi Gras is whited out now. It's no secret that it's getting whited out. We know historically it's a Indian culture. We know it's a Indian South America culture, but they have let them white it out. And just like Bud Billiken Parade is just, you have your Negro version of a celebration for the Negroes, and you have Mardi Gras and Mobile, Alabama. It is the origin of Mardi Gras. So, we have the Mardi Gras in South America. And we know for a fact it ain't got shit to do with no slaves, because I already proved that before. Ain't no African slaves doing none of this, because if they was doing all of this, they would be doing it in Africa. And they show you pictures of the Aztecs looking like this. But you are so naive to let them Africanize these people. That's just on you. This is clearly the Aztec Empire, the remnants. And this is what they encountered. Look how these people mobilize. Look how great they are. So, they existed during the so-called Spanish Empire. And they whitewashing us. Everywhere we go, they whitewashing us. And you see these freaked out people, they love to hate us too. They know that they are some bleached out versions of these people. And these fucking freaks with the Europeanized blood will still shun down on us. They'll still look down on us knowing that they are some fucking hybridized wannabes. And that's what I don't like about mulattoes and mestizos. That's why I don't like them. So they stealing. You see, our women is so beautiful. It's no comparison, man. So you see these people, they hate you. This stuff is no comparison to your women. Yo, people invented this, but they just, there's no such thing as racism. We're all together, but they stealing your shit. And I guarantee you they're gonna write you out of history. Now let's do West Indian. West Indian Carnival. We know it ain't no carnival in Africa. It ain't no secret. I know it ain't no carnival over there. So they all dress the same and they Negroed out. The West Indians is better than South America because they don't adhere to that European white shit. They don't let them come take over and claim it as some European bullshit. The carnival is straight Negro Indian. So Sara Suten Seti is dropping the ball. Linguistically and anthropologically and archaeologically, we can prove that these black Negroes or Moorish people are the indigenous. Even after they tried to hide it and sweep it under the rug, we can prove it. With the CARICOM Caribbean Island West Indian connection, the Grenadine Islands, and the South American connection, we can prove that these are Indians. There's no way around it. Sara Suten Seti is just a diffusionist. The last hope to distract you from claiming what these people got. This girl in the middle looked like one of my relatives. The one on the right is definitely an Indian, is the prototypical Indian with the beautiful smile. The dark-skinned one is the prototypical Indian. And they all want to steal from her. The chocolate sister, look at this copper sister. These is prototypical Americans. Falsely called African slaves because we are under attack. We are very creative and we didn't do this with no Europeans' help. And as you can see, Africans don't dress like this. They always been jealous of us because we more decorative than them. This says West Indian American Day. It don't say nothing about West African American Day because they live in their own culture and society that has nothing to do with Sara Suten Seti's belief. And they will laugh at Sara Suten Seti. Do you understand what I'm telling you, people? They will laugh at that joker just like I will laugh at that joker because I know better. So we have West Indian and South American. Let's get to Mardi Gras Indian history. So my other videos of Who Built America is going to cover the Mardi Gras Indians and the people of New Orleans and Louisiana. I'm going to cover all of that. So you're going to have to stay tuned because I'm going to prove the Teos, Pueblos, and Alamo, Alabama Mesoamerican connection. So we have the Creole Wild West tribe who matched as an Indian at the Mardi Gras in the 1880s. And the Mardi Gras Indian was Chief Bacate. So others believe that the Mardi Gras Indians were inspired by the Native Americans who performed in New Orleans with the Buffalo Wild Wild West show. So they basically saying that Mardi Gras in South America, Mardi Gras in Central America and the islands, and Mardi Gras in Louisiana is some big mistake. These people was just mocking Indians. You know, you feel what I'm saying? But we have Mardi Gras people saying that they actually are Indians. So let's go to the proof. Let's go and get the proof of the Mardi Gras Indians. And we can probably let Seti say some more stupid shit. We can let him say some more dumb stuff. And we can let him say something dumb and see if we can disprove that too. Because we have the 9,000-year-old Ainu Melanesian type man found in the North region. And I just proved the Tlingit. And we have heritage in danger of the Moorish Americans being under attack by the so-called Indian American Council of the Choctaw, who's making videos that I'm about to have to address this dude. Just like this Taino dude from Jamaica, or wherever he from, talking about here Taino, and they keep putting up these bad comments about Moorish culture. So we have the Granada Library is at risk of losing archives that can link us to the Moorish Empire. And as you can see, the architecture is Moorish on St. George's Island. And I already proved this, that the British is invading anything Moorish. And they are strong enough to even keep this building, which is proof enough is all we need, because Granada is nothing but the Granada Al-Andalusian Moors that got kicked out of Spain. And they're back in America about to get annihilated historically, because we have agents like American Indian Council and Sara Suten Seti and other idiots who want to hide particular information for whatever reason. Because, say for instance, Choctaw is real. I'm not going to hide their heritage just because I don't like them. You feel me? But we have a sickness, a mental illness going on with these illiterate aboriginals and these dangerous Africanized Pan-Hotep people out here denying Moorish heritage. And I'm going to get on top of that. And I'm just opening the door by giving you people this, this great research so you can trust. And once you trust in me, I will shut down these aboriginal groups and the Pan-African Hoteps. It's nothing, because we deeper than them. And we more wiser than them, but you just don't know about us. So we have Granada America that you know nothing about because you think you African, and aboriginals is showing you nothing. And the heritage is in danger. And we have so much to talk about. And we have Red Road East dropping videos, and they claim to be Moorish. The Red Road East. Look up their channel. So let me disprove Sara Suten Seti right quick about the architecture. I'm going to do that right. Matter of fact, I'm going to come back because I think he mentioned the architecture. But yes, we can debunk him, because if y'all follow Sara Suten Seti, he said that the Europeans never had no architecture in Europe, that they had to steal it from Africa. Yet we have never seen any buildings like what I'm about to show in Africa.
Here are the towers of Bologna, Italy. These towers were constructed around the 12th and 13th century. Cities or towers that were built in the 1st and 2nd century that are almost identical.
The 1st and 2nd century sounds like 2,000 years ago, so somebody don't know who they talk about. Either you admit that this is Moorish, or you got to admit that the Europeans was building tall buildings. Therefore, Sara Suten Seti don't know what he's talking about. If you take him serious, you have to hold him responsible for telling a lie. And if you don't take him serious, we can just move on from him and we can teach from an honest perspective.
was surrounded by a great wall. And around the 12th century, it had up to 180 towers.
I also have a keen belief that the saint symbol of the saint religion was hijacked by the Christians. I got a strong belief that the Ethiopian Christians and the European Byzantines stole the saint like the New Orleans saint symbol, and they made the cross out of that. And I'm going to prove that later on, that saint symbol is connected to the Holy Moorish. And that cross is a fake version of the saint symbol. I'm glad I just synced this video.
Very little knowledge, actually, is in existence about why people were even building towers.
It's a tower like this in Florida and Panama City. And it's old.
I mean, I think there is knowledge, but little knowledge is given to us. We're left with a mystery and hypothesis. So, today fewer than 20 towers actually remain. And many have been... There's 5 roads that lead to the outside. And just to think, that they were building towers backwards for a minute, because it would be a big plague that would affect all of Europe. There would be a big plague.
San Germania.
They called it the Black Death. The Black Death wiped out half of the population.
So he admitting a plague, the Black Death. So they genocided the people living here, wiped out half the population, and they don't really know who built them. So I'm sure Black Death is code word for chasing the Moors out of here.
Which, this is kind of another mystery. I mean, it's very vague. The Black Death. I think there's a lot. Probably pronouncing that wrong. This is the one that was built in the 1st century. And here I'm just throwing in some towers of Tibet, just to get a little perspective. These towers in Tibet, in the Himalayas, and in the Sichuan province of China, these were built about 500 to 1800 years ago, according to carbon dating. But that, again, is very loose dating. And very little information exists. I mean, these are oftentimes in remote areas with no roads and very difficult place to even build towers, and there's no stone. There is stone, but it's still mountainous. I mean, the people around did not build these towers, the locals.
So we got proof people was building with high-tech archaeological scientific skills. We have Sara Suten Seti in another lie. So what I want to do is just prove exactly what the Mardi Gras Indians looked like, because if the Mardi Gras Indians is smart, they would accept their Moorish culture. And the essence of Mardi Gras is Latin. And the cliff-dwelling culture is, of course, Moorish. We see this because we have the script and language left behind by the builders of this cliff-dwelling structure. Further debunking Sara Suten Seti, because like I stated in my previous videos, we won't be letting Pan-African, Egyptian, Kemetic, Hotep, Black Power claim anything Muslim. So, you forgot about the Pueblos Indian culture and the first battle of Mora, who are the Teos people, who are the Teotihuacan Mexican empire that stem from Mexico, because remember, a lot of America is Mexico. So you letting the Black Power and the fake $5 Indians make you forget about America really is Mexico. You understand what I'm saying? If you forgot that America is a Mexico, you have no idea of what a Maori is or who Americans really is. Don't let American Indian Council tell you about what a Maori is. Don't let Shatta Chief Warquist Warhorse tell you what a Shatta is. Do you understand how these black people will enslave you? These are Bengal people. These are Bengalese. Like Sheikh Deen Muhammad. Sheikh Deen Muhammad is a Moorish Indian. And I'm going to do a whole story on him. Hell, let me look him up. Let me show you what a real Indian Moor is. Let me show y'all, man, how they lying to y'all. You see Sheikh Deen Muhammad look like one of us and is a real Moor Islam, a Moorish person like us. And he wears the turban. And he is a notable Indian Moor from Bengal, Patna, India. And he brought Indian cuisine and shampoo baths to Europe, and his son also brought the Turkic baths. They not teaching you. So this is the type of Moorish people you say that sold out and helped the Europeans. But you can use this information to prove that before 1759, I want to say 1787, the British was never taking baths with soap. So they go to show you they wasn't civilized. This is more information you can use that I'm sharing with you instead of hating on people. But this is the type of Indian that Shatta is. It's a Bengal Indian. And Indian is a specific culture. And Shatta is lying to you. We have Choctaw. Let's look it up. Choctaw. It's fake. And they have casinos because they are federally accepted because they with the lie. Mississippi Band of Choctaw. And it's supposed to be Achata. And it's the Indian people who had elephants over here. They had elephants building. They had so many slaves back in those days. You people can't even understand that they had people building these mounds and building these tall structures. They had people doing that stuff. And you can't even fathom. You can't even fathom it. It's a video actually on it. One of the dudes, I forgot what his name, got a video on it. Okay. I'm going to end this video once I see the Mardi Gras Indians. And I got it somewhere in here. Where the Mardi Gras, show their origin. And this is Milwaukee, like the Chippewa brown people, dark pigment up there by Canada and Milwaukee. Where Detroit at. This is the Indians. So, and one more thing we got to prove is, was it straight hair African, Sara Suten Seti said. So we got the buildings. On them. And we have the Selingit, northern living North Pole people where it's supposed to be cold. Culture getting stole. We have the Igloo people living in the ice, who are nothing but the Innu, Aboriginal people with deep brown melanin like you and I, who history is being stolen and replaced with a weirdo people. And we have to come together to make sure that they don't get away with it. So, indigenous story, Aboriginals in Asia and India, it's somewhere in here. It ain't in no Nagamore, I know that for sure. It's not in no Nagamore. This is the Pacific Islander Indians. And we can prove language, Indian connection to America, Nagamaya, if you want. If you want to prove language, if Sara Suten Seti want to prove Marina Kingdom connection to America, Rhonda Vallona's connection, if it's nothing you people can do with me. When it comes to the Holy Moorish Empire, proving that connection to America and the Indian connection, I'm that nigga. And it's pretty much over with when this comes to me. It's like all the dreams is over. This is Balakistan, near India. They have a country called Balakistan. This is Sauk Fox of Illinois. You see the eyes. We take pride in our eyes in America. You see my little cousin and uncle. I think I'm not on here. And you see the two Aboriginal women with the eyes, his mother and grandmother. So we see these people that are obviously can be mistaken as Negro. And if this video is long or not, so what? We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta do what we gotta do. Okay. We gotta tell this story. Okay, we got Shorty Low looking like an Indian, the rapper Shorty Low. So I'm gonna get to I have to prove that the straight hair Africans is in Africa next. And we have the Utah, Alabama people where I'm from, where my people from. And we boast of a rich history out here. And we don't claim. When we claim Moorish, we talking about this type of guy sitting down. That's what we talking about. We saying people like him was royalty all over the world once upon a time. You know, not the African type. We talking about Moorish. The black African is Kushite. We call them Kushites, man. Kushiti. You understand what I'm saying? Asiatics might be a little different than them. So you can't get it twisted up. This is Pompeii people in the Pacific Ocean, little people. And this is Ute people. You find people like this in America. She looked like the Project people with JJ mother. Dynamite Man. The Good Times, I think. Good Times. The Caroline Islands. On the same latitude. And they inhabit America on the same latitude. The Pompeii people, the Causeway people, Isaac Kelly Kell, Khalid Kell. These people believe in a religion that they are superhuman. So we have the Juca Bush Negroes of French Guyana, of Dutch Guyana, who fought for their independence and was never enslaved. And they was getting paid millions a year by the Dutch government for trying to enslave them. We have too much proof. We have the Aymara people of Bolivia with metal axes, just like to sling it. We got too much proof. We have the West Indians. So we have the so-called Taino, copper color people, who can easily be mistaken for African or black based on your standards. So we have Amazon people. We have Amazon people in South America with the noses like ours. It's too much information that cannot be denied. We have Mosquito people. As you can see, Mosquito Indian. That Sara Suten Seti is disrespecting. You better believe these people attend Mardi Gras. You better know it. And this is our relative who just passed. And she is Mississippi Native American who told us from her own mouth that her people was ashamed of their culture. Dressing with the feathers headdress and hooping and hollering in the streets. She's saying that they really made those loud noises. Her Indian relatives. That's what our grandmother told us. Her name is Marilyn Harvey. Marilyn Porter before marriage. And we have to take her word over your word. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we won't disrespect our elders and our family for your African delusions. I'm sorry, but we just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? We won't do that in our family. And if you do that in your family, that's on you. You know, if you do that in your family, because when we talk about the Moorish, we talking about these people, and we saying they got mollywopped and stolen, and you know a lot of people lying out here, and I'm here to straighten it out. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I got the facts, and I just gotta prove one thing on Seti, and I can shut this video down. Cause it's another classic full of information. It's another classic. You know, it's another classic. This is the young man of Easter Island, Rapa Nui, with those statues, with those Moorish statues. So you see what they look like scalping the Europeans. And what type of man is this? Mongoloid, okay. The interior parts of America. And he got woolly hair. And you see more proof of them hacking up the European. And I already did a picture on this lady. Her name is Mary something. And she's an Aboriginal from Australia area. And this is one of the warriors of Shawnee Prophet. And you see the little axe in his hand. So you know, that's it. I keep making that mistake. I'm finna get up out of here because I just want to see the damn Mardi Gras Indians. Because this fool done disrespected them for dressing up in their little outfits. And I done connected them to South America. And, the islands, West Indians carnival. You see the hairdress. This is West Indies right here. Dark-skinned people. They talking about some African slaves following some Indian. This nigga got your people messed up. Y'all ain't nothing but some slaves to compare, according to him. But according to Columbus paintings, oh man, that's ugly. I can't. Let me go back down. I'm gonna get it. According to Columbus paintings, y'all was wearing that stuff, looking like that already. The feathers. Indian red. See, somebody lying. Now let's get back to that feather pick. Okay, here you go. Now you see this Columbus returning to Spain with American Indians. Do you see that them is Negroes with the feathers on their head? So you mean to tell me the Mardi Gras Indians is out here, rejecting their African heritage when they showing you on a picture of them going back to Spain that has been conquered by the whites? So Spain got conquered by the whites, so-called whites, and now the rest of the Moors in America is under attack through the Inquisition. So these Indians is about to tell and give up some shit or they dead. And as you can see, they got the feather head dress on, just like the West Indians right here. So them dark-skinned people you see on that Christopher Columbus picture, it's the same people right here. And Sara Suten Seti is guilty of some real serious crimes. Some real serious crimes. That shit, I would fucking be. I would be ashamed of myself if I knew I was lying all them years. Because we see the Indian right here. You see these people still dressing like it. And he talking about they sitting up there dressing like some, they denying their African heritage by dressing like some Indian. That man is a goddamn psychopath. This is some insulting ass shit. And as you can see, I'm proving it. That he said it out his mouth. Yamasee, Washoe, Olmec. The Olmec is actually Asiatics, man. I don't think that they Africans. Even if they was in Africa. I don't think the Olmec is African to that sense. I think they more like Mohammedans or Muhammad or Meccans. I think Olmec is Meccans, like the people who built pyramids in the 360 of Mecca. You see the Creole orchestra. You got to ask yourself what kind of Creole. Creole is not a race or a it's like Creole means like whatever language you speak a slang version of it, and you mastered it to the point where it seems like it's distinguishable. It's distinguished from others or distinct from others. But it's actually like Creole English or Creole Portuguese, Creole Spanish, or Spanish could be a Creole. Creole is just a variant of Latin. That's all it is. It's a variant of Latin, a different way to say Latin. And when they say Creole, what they doing is not giving credit for those versions of language groups. So say if Mosquito speak Creole, they should just be Mosquito Creole or Mosquito or whatever you call yourself. If you don't call yourselves nothing, they probably just call you Creole if you don't got a respectable name. So we had New Orleans Black Indian Alliance.
If you've ever attended Mardi Gras, you've probably seen Indians dancing during the celebration. Who are they, and what is their legacy in Louisiana? Here's a very colorful feature to tell their story.
Nobia is a group.
New Orleans Black Indians. You know what? I don't even want to listen to no nigga who about to call themselves black. So I'm going to skip his story, because no matter what he said, you cannot connect black to indigenous. Black means something else. You separating yourself from the other Indians once you call yourself black. You understand what I'm saying? Now you might be more superior genetically. You might be more superior physically and mentally, but black got another meaning. You know what I'm saying? We don't know where you coming from with that black. So I'm going to let him hide that. I was going to give him a spotlight. And as you can see, King Kamehameha in 1736 is the first ruler of the Kingdom of Hawaii, and he has woolly hair. So we are Sara Suten Seti. And as you can see, the Asiatic types even have straight hair. See, we have straight hair and woolly hair. You can't really separate us. You know, we not going to allow them to tell us our American culture, because, you know, for the simple fact, the reason why we can't let them tell us nothing is they don't know nothing about their goddamn self. As you can see, the dreadlocks. We can't let these people, and as you can see, this woman is an Eastern Coast Native American, and she got the flat head. So that's Nubia. I'm not gonna let Nubia speak, but you are not descendants of slaves. You are the descendants of free people made into prisoners of war within your homeland. Never accept your oppressors' marginalizing narratives of you. They're designed to keep you seep into your subconscious. So we not letting them name us. We not letting Seti call us Africans. We see the Americas triptych and the African triptych and the Asian triptych. God self icon in each one of them. So we dealing with Masonic a mystic Shriner initiation worldwide. You understand what I'm saying? It is a worldwide thing. It is not a African thing. That dude is far gone. He's comparing the step pyramids, talking about, look at this pyramid. It don't add up to this pyramid. Look at that little old thing. But what he's not saying is, it is a grand major pyramid over there. It is a grand major pyramid over here. It is a triptych pyramid over here. It is a triptych pyramid over there. And it is different other ones. And India has the most elaborate developed architectural design seen on earth. No one rivals India. We have the Hopi Indians replace the Anasazi, similar to the Dogon. They have the same practices of Black Mesa Verde, America, and the same in Mali, Africa. So the cliff-dwelling people of Colorado and New Mexico is the same as the Meroitic, Amharic, Amhara, Nubian, Moorish people of North Africa. And as you can see, the brown people on the giant horses crushing the whites. So never let the whites tell you that you don't have nothing to do with the Egyptians. Because as you can see, the pheomelanin and the eumelanin is not the same scientifically. And if you got that pale skin, you have pheomelanin. If you have brown skin like this, even the horse have brown skin, they have eumelanin, which absorb the sun's ultraviolet light. So it is a direct insult on the ancestors to ever say that a eumelanin pale white male was an ancient Egyptian, Gupta, Indian, or Moor. Never let them claim to be Moors, because we understand we have more eumelanin. That's why we claim to be Moor. Moor is specific. So we can get into that. And we see people like her in America, and she's getting called Negro and Mexican and other names. We see who Miss Universe is, and it ain't nobody looking like her nowhere. She's too beautiful. So we have Cajun versus Creole. And we got Jabari Parker of the Chicago Bulls. He used to play with Milwaukee. Is from the Tonga Islands in the Pacific Ocean. As you can see, the equator. The equator is actually what dictates the melanin in your skin, the eumelanin. So that is why people got dark skin. And that is why they inhabit all across the flat plane. So you see dark skinned people in Asia. You see them in the USA. You see them in North Africa, because they come up from the equator of South America up the canal. And they inhabit these islands where it's always hot at. Now you see this map is fair, because it's showing you Easter Islands, Tahiti Islands. It's showing you how close they is to America and how they all interconnected with all these black, dark-skinned looking people. So the facts is here, and it's on you to deny it. You know, because the Melanesians got some diverse blood. You know. And we have the Hawaiians in 1890. This not even 1900 looking at the Hawaiians. And this is Queen Rana Valona, the last royal empire of Marina Kingdom, falsely called Madagascar. So let me get to the Mardi Gras. And matter of fact, this is over with. And this is the Asiatic people. You see that spear he got. We find this in America and with the Melanesian types. This same shark tooth. And you need to have Aboriginal pride, people. You need to. Because we have the Inca and the so-called Kemetic connection. And we have too much proof of Veracruz, Totonaca painting. And it looks like some fezzes to me on this painting of these dark-skinned brothers. And Sara Suten Seti wants to Africanize everything. You know, why people getting gunned down. And this is the prototypical American who was over here getting slaughtered. And we have a lot of information I showed y'all, but I didn't show you that damn Mardi Gras proof. So I gotta sit up there and prolong this video, because I need this as proof, for my own specific proof. I have to put this on here, so it's gonna take a little bit longer, sorry. But I know I got that Mardi Gras proof. And my next video is gonna be debunking those Aborigine Indian American Indian Council who steady talking about we wasn't Moors. Just because you wasn't Moors don't mean everybody wasn't else Moors. So it's enough with them, because they just don't understand what respect is. And you got to move on from illiterates. And we have probably Aurora, Amazon people looking like Peoria, Illinois people. No different. So I already proved Maya is fake. Maya is fake. Stolen. Just like Atlantic Creek Indian history stolen. Just like Hotel Moran in Cherokee Strip of Oklahoma is being hidden. So let's go over some key information about the Mardi Gras and what we can breeze through until I get it. We see the Seminole chiefs were Negroes. There's no way around that. I call them more as in more than everyone else. They just got more eumelain. And I'm used to calling myself more too, because it make me feel better. It's nothing greater than calling yourself more. It's power in it. And we understand the power in words. In the Moorish Science Temple of America, teaching the members what to call yourselves. More is man of original race. And this is Dry Tortugas, showing you how well the Moors was building in America on little islands. That type of architecture is nearly impossible. 300, 400, 500 years ago for certain people. And we have the Moor City in Colorado and El Morro Public School. We have too much proof. But let's get to those Mardi Gras. And I know it's on one of these. We have the Black Cowboys of Amarillo. Okay, Caribbean Islands. Okay. Muslims. We have Alabama. Native American tribes. I didn't know already. Here go Maria that Sara Suten Seti had. He talking about the Lemurians. But, that's another video. We can get on top of that. If we ever have smoke with him. Okay. Foremost. I cannot. And here go the Ramadan Ibn YT. I think some aboriginals is out trying to debunk this right now. That it was Muslims in the Cherokee military. I think it's some out there trying to deny Islam and Moorish. And Mora, we have the Mora civilization. So like I say, they don't deal with me, the Aborigines. So they have to discredit the Kennewick man, Asiatic Fijian connection. They have to discredit the Empress, the Washita Empress, Verdiasi, who's saying that her people was Moors. So you got to question the new Aborigines, the young Aborigines and indigenous people on the YouTube. They could be agents. Because you don't get information like this and then you just go to denying it. As you can see, the Brazil people wearing feathers with feather was free people. Not no slaves. And as you can see, the social classes in Spanish colonies was pyramid. Whenever you see the pyramid society, it's Moorish. You also have the octagon and you have the square. And you have the pentagon. You understand what I'm saying? These is all civilization methods that you use for civilization. And I can prove it to you right now. Let's say the pyramid method for civilization. And then I'm going to say method for civilization. Okay. Pyramid system. Pyramid, what's it say? What should I say? Pyramid caste system. So we have the caste pyramid. It is the same as the Spanish and the Latin. Don't let it fool you. We have the priests, warrior kings, merchants, commoners, and peasants, and untouchables. Now let's do the square caste system. Like I say, I'm trying to deliver y'all information that y'all don't normally that y'all don't really get a hold to. What is that thing called? It's called, okay, I think the stone, the black stone is under the octagon cast. Let's see. And what is it called? The octagon. It's not popping up. I got it saved. If it don't pop up, that's another story. Okay. I'll break that down in another video because I saved it. Actually had different models for civilization. It's based on shapes and zodiac. So I'm not going to be able to get it right here. But I know the pyramid and the octagon and the square cast is adopted by civilizations right now today. And the Spanish is nothing but the Moorish. So I'm going to go ahead and just look up Mardi Gras Black Indians and see what it look like. See what it say in America. Mardi. Okay. Mobile Mardi Gras. So February 15th and it ends March 5th, and I will be there, and it is the truth. It don't be nothing but it probably be like 200,000-300,000 niggas here. But the white people, they have, you know, they roll in it too. And this is Mobile. This ain't in New Orleans. So Sara Suten Seti ain't even telling you about this. As you can see, Mobile, Alabama. And it is the carnival celebration. And it is the oldest annual carnival celebration in the United States. In 1703, started by a Frenchman named Nicolas Langlois. And as you can see, the French is our people. It's all a lie. The white people was started becoming French after they took over. So the one in New Orleans is not older than the one in Mobile. That's why I showed you this, because I know what I'm talking about. And the themes all around it is Egyptian. Like the whole pyramid, the whole celebration is probably going to be about a certain Shriners group. Then another name for some ancient Moorish groups. That's all the pyramid, the parades be about every day. It's like every day a new celebration. So I'm going to see if I can pull that up. Here you go. It's a order of myths. Let's see if they talk about it. Okay, order of myths. It's the oldest mystic society to celebrate Mardi Gras. Okay, but what I want to do is get them to to discuss the actual events. Let's see. Each event, Mardi Gras event. Each Mardi Gras event in Mobile. See what it say. The schedule. In the French Quarter. Okay, you see the white people got the Indian stuff on, so they go to show you who they stealing from. Groundhog Day. Okay. The Dauphin Parade. The Mardi Gras Parade. Let's see if they give up the names of the other ones. Pharaohs. Okay. We're going to have the Pharaohs Mystic Society. Conde. Okay. Order of the Inca. So we have the Pharaohs and the Inca. So somebody knows something. Apollo Mystic Lady. Mobile Mystics, Mobile Mystic Revelers, Knights of Equal Rogue, so Neptune Daughters, Order of Venus, Crew of Columbus, Mystic Order of Miriam's, Crew of Goats, Mystic Ladies. Now keep in mind some of these groups is going to be Negro too. Arrival of King Felix. So we have to do some research. We have to do some research about what's going on with the Egyptian and Inca connection and the Masonic connection, which is nothing but Moorish getting stolen. So let's see it's actually a black damn Indian from New Orleans that I wanted to show y'all. Matter of fact, let me get back to that, because that really nip it in the bud. With Sara Suten Seti. I'm going to go on and show that, because it ain't going to take me long. Let me see. I'm just going to go ahead and go straight to it and find it. Because they got a particular leader. You need to know his name, since the man said that y'all not Indians. And the man looked just like a damn nigga. His name Pastor Tuckett or something. And I also got proof about those mammoth caves. I got proof of the Mammoth Caves in Kentucky being in possession of a so-called Negro man. He was always in possession of these caves, and he knew all the routes in the cave system. The Europeans, when they got here, they depended on the so-called Negro slave, and that's a whole nother video I'm gonna do about the Mammoth Caves of Kentucky. Okay, is that it? Jabaluka. I did something on between the Mara clan and the Jabaluka mountains. I'm trying to find this damn Indian pic. Tuskegee language Indian tribe. Okay. At least the Moors do try to connect America and Africa, and they still don't even respect them. We have the Brazilian people. You see them? I love this picture because this is Brazil, and we know ain't no slaves looking like this. The way Sara Suten Seti like to describe it. Let me save this image because that can be a separate video as well. You see the crown on the Moorish people. You see them playing the horn. See they got dresses on. And you see them carrying a royal woman in Brazil. So I would love to just get this information on these damn Mardi Gras. Okay, I think this it. This is the Mardi Gras people. And you see the little children celebrating their culture. And Sara Suten Seti said that you are out your goddamn minds. Okay, they been celebrating this shit since 1700s. Because we know wasn't no goddamn slaves in no goddamn Louisiana territory. That shit is a goddamn lie. So we got Sara Suten Seti telling these little children, you know, even in black and white pictures. They got it in black and white with the 5-point star. And they telling this beautiful young lady who will probably hack your ass up New Orleans style that she is out of her goddamn mind. You know, how disrespectful can you be? And as you can see, that is not the proof. That is not the proof that I'm about to show you. I didn't do all this goddamn talking. Here go a Muskegee light-skinned girl with the fat nose. I'm not doing all of this for that. I know exactly what I'm looking for. Here go the Black Lake Mounds in Louisiana. These people got architectural and skeletal remains. I'm talking about, obviously, Sara Suten Seti don't know nothing about it because he wouldn't disrespect them like that. You know. He obviously wouldn't disrespect them like that. As you can see, Walter Payton got some curly like hair. And I highly doubt that that's some damn perm in his head. Naga. We got the Naga people. Alright, I think I know where that Indian brother at. I think I know exactly where he at. Pastor Tuckett. I might can just look him up. Let's see. Because I don't even know his real name. It might just pop up if I get close. Okay. Let's see if he up in here, who I'm looking for. I'm looking for a particular dude. Because historically we need it. We need to know what we dealing with. Oh, it ain't on here because I forgot his name. Okay, let's get out of here. I think he is, is going to be in the North region. Indigenous Americans, white colonial destruction. I know it ain't in there. Naga, copper, Aboriginal Moorish leaders. Wouldn't be surprised if it's in here. Wouldn't be surprised. You see the ancient headdress of the Berber Moorish woman, same as the Statue of Liberty. Okay. We have the fez is in America, is an American headdress, not an African. You see our brother who is rested in peace looks like the Indian brother over in India, showing you, even the same nose bridge. You can't escape your Moorish roots. You can escape it all. You can run, but you can't hide. You see the Islamic fez on with the Hawaiian king, and you see they got the chicken bucket on from Michael Hampton disrespecting us. You see how the Indians, Washita, got their proof of the fez and the Moors, and they getting disrespected. The disrespect is everywhere. Okay, we have Sir Arjan Singh of the Raja Prince. Raja means most high. So they call us most high. And we have the Moor pick with the fez wearing Germanic Europeans, and this is who ruled the world during World War II, brothers like this. This is who they knocking off. They getting rid of brother Muslims like that, and they is in America too. Neza Hual Quatil was a nigger. And we have Mexican people getting kicked out. Seti is saying they crazy. Okay, it ain't in here as I can see. It wouldn't be in here. In Aboriginal Moorish series, it would definitely be up here. Cause he ain't no more. He's an Indian. He wouldn't be up in here. It has to be. I might not be able to get the brother. I might not be able to get him. I'm gonna have to end this video with the African straight hair proof. The Africans got straight hair. Cause I'm getting tired, man. I would love to catch that little Indian brother. It ain't on here. I know it ain't in here. But I know you still appreciate the information from people and folks who putting in their winner. We putting in their work, man. Eliminating them Africans. They some lames, man. Because them niggas be acting. We putting them to sleep. We put them to sleep, man. Checkmate, man. The Maglusification Project, man. Checkmate, man. You know we coming for you. Okay. It definitely wouldn't be in here. It would be in the Indian. I know it's in the Indian joint. The indigenous aborigines in America. That's where it's at. I'm going to do the whole rundown on this and I'm out of here. Because I can't find the the Mardi Gras Indian dude I'm looking for. That's crazy, cause I didn't seen it a gang of time. We can do it one more rundown, cause I know you enjoyed the video anyway, exposing these clowns talking about niggas as Africans, man. Like we some goofies in the game and can't research for ourselves, B. You know, I'm on top of it. Okay. Man, I don't even think this in here either. On the real. Right, I've been through this already. I'm slow. Extra slow. That's that tiredness. Black Devils. Okay. I definitely ain't looked in here. Yes, I did. I did look in here. That's why I should have had this information before I got in here. But at least we proved the corn up in India, though. See, they got the big old corn. So at least we was able to prove that. You know, the Indians got the corn from America. So it's only way to get that is with the Indian that look like us. So we disproving Sara Suten Seti off the wham. You know, no matter what. And how long it take. Because we have the Gullah and Seminole Indians. You know, and the Mardi Gras Indians is the same people. And we have Cherokee is nothing but Arabic. It is a mix-up of African. We have Arabic. We have Chief Tuscaloosa, who is a turban-wearing Moor, and I can prove in another video. You see Indian-Moorish. So don't let... You see the 6-point star with the serpent? That is Judean Moors Marina Kingdom. With their crops, showing you that they transporting and exporting, importing and exporting. This proves the Aborigines and the Indian American Council do. Okay. I might have to move on. Is this Mardi Gras? No. Johnny Aberrant. Okay. Yeah, I'm crushing. Okay. It's only one more place it can be, and it's over with. It gotta be in here. Evidence. Alright, here you go. I'm gonna do the rundown here and we out of here. I can end this video. I hope it was 2 hours. I don't know how long this video was. It don't make a difference. We got a job to do. We got a job to do exposing these Chatas and these African Americans. You know, out here faking the deal. Cause the Washita speech to the United States, you know, got more weight than some people saying we ain't Moors, and we don't even know these people just cause they saying Choctaw. Cause the Mexican secession is the region in the modern day Southwest United States that Mexico ceded to the U.S. And that's in 1848. So that means before 1848, we got proof we was living in 1812, you know, 1830 something. We was living all throughout these regions. 529,000 square miles. So we was living up under the Spanish Empire, some of us. And therefore you can't tell everybody their story. You can only tell your story, and you speak English well. You don't speak no Spanish, no Creole, no slang. You speak proper English like the proper English nigga you is. You don't even speak the Gullah language. You don't even speak the slang nigga language of Chicago. You niggas speak perfect English on here, man. Sitting up here talking about you ain't no fucking Moors. Knowing you some Christian ass niggas who used to go to church. Now all of a sudden, you want to tell us about Mesoamerican cultural traits. And it says it right here, man. The Totonac. I just went over the Totonac and the Maya. The Itza Maya is the Isatsi. And that's what the Muskogean people is. The Muskogee is no different than the mosquito. The Kushada is another way of saying dark skin, but they didn't mix it up. Tennessee is nothing but Tunisia. Tennessee. And it's Tennessee and Tunisia, the Egyptian connects. I don't know what that damn Indian chief at, but that is crazy, man. You know, I bet it's in Dun and Intel Solutions, and I am so determined to get this goddamn story. I just want to be proved right, and I might have to do a part 2 to this. Or what I'm gonna do is just do a follow-up. Because now it look like the pictures ain't even showing on here. It don't even want to load. Okay. Because I know it's on here. We have New York flocks to West Indian parade for spirited celebration of the Caribbean islands. See, they not flocking to no damn Africa. They flocking to the West Indians. You know, and we got Sara Suten Seti steady line, man. Enough is enough. We see the Mardi Gras Indians that he talking about is crazy for dressing up like this. Come on, let's get down here and give me a chance to see. Dang, man, it's crazy. Okay. Let's keep scrolling. This is nuts. Okay. I'm finna go on and end this video, man. Cause I hate to be wrong, but I'm not wrong. I know I got it. I know I got the information of the Negro looking. Okay, here you go. The indigenous name of New Orleans is Shawama. In Shawama City of the Red Sun in Shahata, when the French colonizer Bienville was selecting a capital city for New Orleans in 1718. He learned that the Aborigines in the New Orleans area originally called the region Shawtashuma. Bienville built the initial district of the New Orleans on top of the deserted Shawtashuma villages, which were inhabited by the later enslaved and reclassified Aboriginal Akalapissa, Biloxi, and Shawtashuma tribes next to modern Bayou St. John. So we have these people claiming Indian status and Aboriginal title, and Sara Suten Seti is saying that they is plain fucking crazy. So we have Chief Pushmataha of the Choctaw that is really Chahata or Shata, the same people I just showed you. Okay, and I just spent all that time scrolling, you know, trying to expose these Mardi Gras Indians. You understand me? See how C Murder, you know, their history is being hid by some goddamn Pan-Africans. And Sara Suten Seti ain't no Jabari Osazi level, so I wouldn't have to show him the inheritance of serohaptoglobin types in American Negroes, evidence for a third allele HP2M. So these characteristics are distinct from Africans, and it is proven. And if you've been following my videos, you already know. And Seti wants to know about the Ring of Fire.
The Pacific is the deepest body of water on the planet. But sometimes the seabed shoots to the surface. Behold, one of nature's rarest sights. The creation of a new...
That was some hating ass shit. The creation of a new island. So, I didn't show you the Shout the Schumer. I showed you Chief Push to Hamaha. Showing you that they got a rich Negro history getting hid down there by the free agent Mason Sara Suten Seti. Now let's look up straight hair, dark skin Africans. Sara Suten Seti actually is a good thing for our people to measure the intelligence of our people. To see where, they stand. To see what they know. You understand what I'm saying? Because if we got people out there following Seti and they trusting in him, we can sit up there and use a measuring device to see how many people are slow. Who are slow enough to follow dudes like this. So we have a so-called African woman, little girl with straight hair. They have a whole blog on this, and I'm sure Sara Suten Seti knew you was going to go ahead and Google this and look it up. So we have straight hair Africans with thin hair. Straight hair Africans in the hot sun. So that go to show you the straight hair Indians in America was our people. You have even little nappy head boys with blue eyes. So Sara Suten Seti is a joke at this point. That straight hair can be found in America. It can be found everywhere. It don't make no sense. And I already done proved the Mayat is fake. The Mayat, they stole the Mayat. So, we see the little blonde haired baby boy, and we see the albino versions coming up out of them. You see the albinos coming up out of them. You see where the straight hair albinism come from. So everybody is connected, but Sara Suten Seti is a fucking racist. A dangerous ass racist ass nigga who need to sit the hell down. So this video is over with. It's a wrap. Look at these little children. That's our children. The Brazilian type you find in Brazil. But because of Sara Suten Seti, our children gotta feel left out. Because they not black enough. They not dark enough. Or they not dark enough. Or their hair is not kinky enough. So they have to feel like, they on the outside of us. And I'm not that type of brother. I'm not playing no games with the eumelain. We all got eumelain, and if you see these children, it's light-skinned. They probably got some different allele group and variation for genetic characteristics, but we not going to sit up there, just like we got this brother who is disabled, we not going to sit up there and treat this brother mean. You know what I'm saying? We not going to treat these Africans mean just because Sara Suten Seti saying that you have to have black skin when he don't even have black skin. See, he don't even look like the same features that he's saying you gotta have. So we got Sara Suten Seti where we want, and this video was over with. And I hope you enjoy, because I proved all the points that he spoke on. And what I'm gonna do is just do a part 2 to him, because I'm really tired. It took me a while to prove what I had to prove, but I did it. I proved the Mardi Gras people is a people before them and connected to the carnival of West Indies and South America, which basically breaks down a civilization of people living here. Nez Cuatl Hotel, if I'm saying his name right, was a nigga of the Aztecs. Those dress clothes is the same as the Aztecs. The Mardi Gras in Mobile was started in 1703. So, I don't think they can really, deal with me at this point. So I'm gonna do the money. I'm gonna do the PayPal. I'm gonna do the PayPal and the Patreon, because we got proof that white people were slaves. We got proof of the white slaves, me and my team, and we understand the camera was invented in like 1815 or something like that. So if the camera was invented in 1815, and we know we have the Barbary slaves in Africa, we have the slaves in America that were slaves, we have pictures of them. And I have over 30 pictures of white slaves myself. So I'm going to show the truth about who was the real slaves, man. I'm going to show the proof. I'm going to show the truth, man. And I done showed the Africans got straight here. I done showed the dark-skinned people can live in cold climates in America, even in igloos. I done showed you who the Kennewick man was. I just debunked Sara Suten Seti. Okay? So that means the jig is up. It's over with. You understand what I'm saying? It's a wrap. So I'm not even going to let him have no more pointers for today. The video is over with. We'll just do a part 2 exposing him, you know, if he bounced back. Because he want to know about the Aboriginals attacking the slave story. What we letting him know is we are not fit to be slaves at no point in time. It ain't happening. We ain't no African slaves, you goofball ass nigga. We the heirs to America, and we connected to the mother and fathers of civilization, which is the Moorish. The Moorish Empire. It don't get no greater than that. And that's what we want. And you cannot interfere with that, and it is a wrap. It is a wrap for your leader, and we coming for the Indians next. The disrespectful Indians, the disrespectful Negroes and Aboriginals. You have to be peaceful. That's the best way to communicate, is to be peaceful and intelligent. Stop acting like you know so much. Let go of the pride. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. And you're all wrong. You need to dig deeper. And the future of research is right here at Dunnar Solutions, led by Israel's Elite, Israel's Illinois / Chicago People and Folks Nation. So until next time, you know, study up, wise up, rise up, and keep your eyes up on the sun. Well, don't stare directly into the sun, if you know what I mean. Don't never do that. But, you know, stay connected to the Most High. And, you know, keep the negativity out your life, because I can tell it's infectious, and it is causing a lot of confusion amongst our people in America, in civilization, and in rural parts. So, like I said, once again, peace out, and I'll be back at y'all. I would never leave y'all hanging, man. Y'all my people. I love America. South America, Central America, up to Canada, North America, Chicago, Illinois, all French territory, Spanish, Latin, brown skin, eumelain people. Unite, and peace out.